Hello Lynn Valley Garden Club members, season's greetings to you all. Tonight I'm going to demo making a greenery Christmas bell. Some of the members who've been on board for some while have probably made these in years past, but we do have quite a few members who probably haven't made them before. So here we go. I'll go through the list of supplies to start with. And this should have been, I think it was in the November leaf and the December leaf, so you'll have that to refer to. First of all, you need a flower pot, about an 8-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch. I prefer terracotta, but you can also use plastic, so long as the plastic has a hole in the centre, because some of the plastic pots have their holes around the edge, so you need a centre hole. And I'm doing this just for ease of prep, resting it on a bucket, and I've got a turntable which I use for my bonsai, which I find useful, but it's not necessary. The second thing you need is a third or a half a block of Oasis. Now this is the florist foam. It's not the hard one, it's something that you can poke into. And you need to soak it for a little while before you use it, so I've been soaking mine here. The other thing you need, or one of the other things, is approximately 48 inches of string or ribbon. You can use, this is curtaining cord, which I had left over from something, and it's nice and strong. You can use ribbon, you can use macrame cord. I'm just using string here. It does have to be fairly strong. Then you need a washer, and I'll explain that as we go, and a little bell or a ball or something which is going to be the clanger on your bell. And then you'll need some ribbons, all optional, and greenery. I'm using a couple of different kinds of cedar here and some berries and greenery. So here we go. So this has been pre-soaked, sitting there. The piece of cord, measure off about 10 to 12 inches. That's going to hang inside the bell, and the other 36 or so inches, double up so you've got a loop, and knot it. So I've got 10 inches hanging plus a loop here, and then we're going to tie the washer, which this is fairly large, it just has to be larger than the hole in your flower pot. So we're going to tie that, just a simple knot. It might look a little bit crooked, but it'll hang straight when we get to it. And then on the end of this, which is going inside the pot, you need to, or you don't need to, but you add a little bell or a ball or something, and just tie that on. So here we go. Oh, the other thing you'll need, sorry I forgot to mention, is a small piece of coat hanger wire, and I put a loop on it because we need to thread the cord through this piece of foam. So take your flower pot and thread the loop through there. The washer will stop it coming through, and then your little bell, as you can see, is hanging just in the middle there. And then I'm going to put the loop into, it's like threading a needle, and I'm going to thread it through the middle of the foam just to pull it through. You can also use a straw. And poke the straw through, and then thread your cord through. I didn't put that in straight, so I lost a little bit of my foam there. So So here we have what it's going to look like, the foam on top of the bell. Then I used, cut some cedar. I used two kinds of cedar here. This, the regular type, and this is more like a hedging. It's a shorter pieces, or shorter foliage. And we're going to poke this into the foam, starting at the bottom as far as you can, and you want it to extend below the flower pot a little bit. So you may need to cut it as you go. I'm just going to go all the way around the edge. As you can see, I'm going all the way around, poking into the bottom of the foam. Now maybe you want to do, if you're only using this kind of cedar, you can do another row of this. I'll put a few more sprigs in to fill up maybe some gaps a little bit further up. Might want to trim it as you go on an angle, which means it pokes in a little easier. Then I'm going to use some of this other cedar hedging, which is shorter and a little bushier. And go around poking that in to make a next layer. You can see a turntable is useful to have, but it's not necessary. In fact, I've never used one before to do these and always worked out okay. And at this point I'm going to use a few other, a little bit of different greenery that I have. A little bit of fir, just to add a bit of interest. So I'm adding these little pieces of fir around, just a few sprigs, and if this is a variegated shrub growing in the garden, if you've got holly, that's nice, just to give it a bit of colour. And I'm adding the bushier stuff at the top to fill the top out a little bit. And then, I've picked some berries. This is a pretty little shrub, and I'm going to fill up the top and give it some colour. And then you can just keep filling it up with whatever you've got in there. And then you can add some other little decorations. This is just an artificial large berry, but it's colourful. Maybe put that in. Some pine cones on sticks. Sort of look nice. These little balls, they just from Michael's, and I got a bag of them, and toothpick goes in them, so they will give a bit of glitter if that's what you want. As you can see, it's as much as the imagination can take. I've got these little tartan bows. Then I'll poke around. If you've got, usually I buy a bunch of fresh flowers, little mini carnations or something, and put in vases of greenery around my house. So if you've got fresh flowers towards Christmas, when you've maybe got people coming, you can add some fresh flowers to it, and maybe a bow on top, or something hanging down. So then you'll see the pot really doesn't show a lot. Your little clanger will show, and if you hang it above head height on a porch underneath, so it's protected, it's nice on your porch or underhang under by your window. And I like to mist mine if it's out of the rain. Obviously if it's in the rain it's going to get rained on, but they'll last a lot longer if they're with a bit of protection. And then I just mist it every few days, and it keeps it really fresh. Mine usually lasts for months. So here we have, here's another one that I made on a trial run. Came out a little smaller. So good luck with them. Merry Christmas to everybody. The bells are ringing. Thank you.